And remember this, I just started doing this as pretty much my version of a type of community service. I didn't do this as, a means to really make money. That was never really how I went about creating content, well, this type of content at least, you know. So, but if I'm able to make at least a part-time income from this, then I could really, lock in and make certain things my entire focus. But yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. 100 members. So out of 10,000 subscribers, I know that it's possible to get 100 members. I know that. I'm seeing what video I'm gonna load up for. See where we at. I wonder if they sometimes they suppress my content for some reason. So if you stop seeing my content, make sure you hit the notification bell. I know I don't say these things, and but I really need to hit the notification bell if you want to stay updated with all my content, because I'm continuing releasing content, but some of my content is suppressed, so hit the notification bell if you want to make sure that you're getting to see everything and not just what they want to show you sometimes. Got these, another deposition. I might have to break this to 2 parts. Let's see what we got here. Share screen. So this is let's check this one out. So I don't know what just happened with the camera. Gonna fix that. Hold on, y'all. Let me fix the camera real quick. Here we got
the ladder search.
So this is from Real World Police, and this is Bodybuilder Cop Determination of Rock Contardi. So let's see what's going on here.
Don't worry about it.
I saw some of this, but I was kind of skipping through it just to see what was going on. So I really didn't see this whole video really. So the first 2 minutes preview what comes later.
Okay. Since when have you started grabbing people invading their privacy?
Ain't nobody trying to do that. That's how we do it out here.
Well, he was at 13%, so has his license good? Yeah. Yeah, I don't smell it anymore either, man. You got it on him. Yeah, exactly. So we're just gonna have to go in there. You want me to go in?
Hey, but honest to God, too, man, that's not 13%. 10. Y'all need it wrong.
It is, bro.
Oh, it ain't, man.
Okay. All right, listen, your car doesn't really smell like weed anymore.
I know it don't. It's a black and mild. But it don't smell like weed anymore after
after we took you out and I put you over here, man.
I don't even smell like weed, man. I told you that from the get-go. It's a cigar right in my door. Cigar yourself, man.
Scented?
Go hit the cigar yourself, man.
I still think it was still tucked away, and I just couldn't feel it, if you really want to know the truth. But I wasn't trying to go any further than I did.
I think you went pretty far at making you aware of that.
Trying to get a good cop off the street, and you guys are entertaining it. At the end of the day, that's what it is.
Well, I have to entertain every complaint. And to be honest with you.
That's why I even told him to go and file a complaint. But if you listen to the video, he consents to whatever I'm going to do. Just get it over with so I can leave. If you listen to it, just go ahead.
But that doesn't make it okay.
Okay. Even Sergeant Moon said this was going to be nothing.
Why would he say that?
I don't know. Ask him.
Okay. To fight for you to conduct that search. If it was more than marijuana.
How is that? I don't understand how using the blade of my hand.
Well, take the blade out. You stuck your hand in his private area.
Right. And
search.
I told you that's where they hide it.
That's a violation of your.
Okay. So I admit to a violation. I know what happened there because I was there. And you guys can look at the video all day long and say this and say that. I know what truly happened. Was that justified? I feel like it was. And it may not meet the mold of the policy here, but I feel like it was. And I've made arrests and I've found drugs. I found a lot of drugs doing that same method.
Do you know this gentleman could file a federal lawsuit against you?
Check these windows, man. Did I? Yes. Although I didn't smell weed last. Did I smell weed last time too? I smell weed again. Oh no, I do now. Much more pronounced. I'm telling you it is. Roll down the back. I'll do the back too. What do you think the back is? You got a test. Give me your test meter. Test it. You got a test meter you can use? Yeah, they're all different shades, guys. All different shades of tit. It's not a debate. All right, I'm telling you. You got anything legal on you, man? All right, man. I'm gonna ask you to step out, okay? I'm gonna make sure there's no weed in here. But listen, dude, I appreciate honesty. That goes a lot farther. All right. If you got anything in here, tell me now before you step out.
Whenever a cop tell you honesty goes a long way, they're gonna send you a long way. It's no reason to incriminate yourself. No reason.
I got things to do, right? Do me a favor. Yeah. You smell a black mud. Black suit right now. Let's go. Man, y'all look at
Keep your hands on the car. Keep your hands on the car.
Ain't shit in there. So what you got for me for?
I'm cuffing you because you're not listening to my orders. I'm telling you to do something.
Because you touched my dick.
Right,
That's why. You grabbed my penis. What the fuck I'm supposed to? You ain't got to do nothing. That ain't how you search nobody. You invaded. Man, I lost some goddamn mind, man. Nothing in the car, right? That ain't nothing in there, man. Walk back to my car. One more time, too, right? What you put me in the car for? I'm not putting you in the car, man. I'm just trying to protect your privacy, okay? Hey, listen,
You can turn this
you
way.
ain't from the strip, man. Ain't nothing in there.
Got any gloves on you?
No, I don't. And listen, when you get done, I need an apology too, man. Real talk. Dude, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I gotta do my job. Okay. What is it? Catardi? Okay. I got you. That's crazy. I really want an apology, man. When you get done. That was crazy, bro.
Just hang out with him. Check the car. What do you got here?
That's my neck. I just watched
Here, put that back.
Hand, man. Go ahead and do what you got to do with your. Come on, put your glove on. Do what you got to do real quick, man. For real, man. You know what?
Take a seat.
I'm staying right here. You told me to stand. I'm staying right here. Ain't got time for this, man. This shit crazy, man. Man grabbing on my dick and shit for no reason. What search is that? Since when did they start that? Huh? Can you tell me that? When did they start that?
Bro, I growing up on these streets, bro.
It don't matter where you
gonna hide where you gonna hide your dope, bro. You gonna hide it right in your ball
since
sack.
When have y'all started grabbing people's dick?
It ain't about grabbing nobody's dick, bro. It's about hiding the shit.
It don't matter. But since when have you started grabbing people's dick, invading their privacy?
Ain't nobody trying to do that.
Man, that's what you did.
If you want to go and complain, go complain.
That's what you did.
That's how we do it out here.
That's how we do it out here. Ugh.
Man, what is this?
he have time to stuff it there?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. It's just I don't know how far you want to push it.
Would you feel it or no?
No, I can't really get in there though, man, without going. They put it right, under their nuts or up their ass. But I'm not 100% confident that it's there, so I'm not trying. I like to find something in here before we went that route. I mean, he's smart. He knows.
Well, he's on inmate release status for
I told him over before too, and I don't know what's going on. It's a black moth sitting right on my door handle, man. That's a poor excuse to search my motherfucking car. I don't even smell like weed. How the hell my car smell like weed? I'll tell you, bro. Well, he was at 13%, so.
I guess I can go write him a ticket.
Huh?
So I guess I can go write him a ticket.
How's his license? Good?
Break
Yeah.
the car.
Everything else is good. Has he got a fuse box on that side?
No. He's got something open here, but I don't smell anything, so.
I don't smell it anymore. Rock.
You know what that means?
Is there a trunk button?
Yeah, I don't smell it anymore either, man. Yeah, I hit it already.
You got it on him.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just gonna have to go in there. Because I don't smell it anymore in the car either.
I mean, back here. It doesn't smell back here.
They doing all this for a plant that is legal in certain states and somehow illegal in other states, but all this is for a plant because they smelled the aroma of a plant. They claim.
You want me to go in?
I'll start right.
Hey, but honest to God, too, man, that's not 13%. 10. Y'all need it wrong.
It is, brother.
Oh, it ain't, man.
Okay. All right, listen, your car doesn't really smell like weed anymore.
I know it don't. It's a black and mild.
Oh,
But it don't smell like weed anymore after
no, after we took you out and I put you over here, man.
I don't even smell like weed, man. I told you that from the get-go. It's a cigar right in my door. But you come grab all on my dick and shit talking about it smell like weed, man. Come on now.
Is it weed flavored?
What you mean? Go hit the cigar yourself, man.
Scented?
Go hit the cigar yourself, man.
Oh, that shit is not, man.
Ain't nothing in there, man.
All right, bro. As long as there ain't,
Damn.
then you just leave him with a ticket.
For what?
Oh, for the tent, man.
Man, listen, I'm telling you, my 10 is
go,
not 13.
then go contest.
How about we go?
So they doing all this. They saying if they don't find nothing, then okay, we just gonna give you a ticket for the tent. That's come on now. So if they don't find nothing, they put him through all this, and it's just oh well.
Go to the 10 place where I got it done at. They'll even tell you it's not 13.
You got some money in there.
Ain't nothing in there. Probably some change or something. I don't know.
Look at him.
Now my car don't smell. So what you still searching me for? My car don't smell like weed.
Because you're smelling like weed.
Oh, nah, I smell like weed. How the hell?
You were in your car. I took you out of your car. Your car doesn't smell like weed anymore.
But I smell like weed.
But you smell
that
like
don't make
weed.
no sense. How?
Back up a little bit.
How? What the hell are you doing?
Checking his pants.
So they allowed to do all this? But my car don't smell like weed, but he's still searching me? What is you doing? Ain't nothing in there. Why? Man, listen, man. See what
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Why y'all in my shit, man? What the fuck is wrong with you? There ain't nothing there.
Shut your mouth, okay? I got to search you to make sure there ain't nothing in here. So stop.
Exactly.
Oh.
Come on now. How you like that?
Anything in your ass?
Ain't nothing in there, man. What the fuck wrong with this man, man? I hope your hands smell like ass too when you get done. Really? Go ahead. Stick your finger in there. That's right. Hope your hands smell like straight ass.
That's why I got the gloves.
I don't give a fuck. Crazy as fuck, man.
So, dude, did you just smoke it? Look at me.
Man, ain't nobody smoke nothing, man. I told you I smoked the black and mild, man. Exactly what you smelled on the door.
It's not a black and mild.
Man, I ain't gotta argue with you, man. My car don't smell. First, my car smelled like weed, but now it don't.
Yeah, because you're out of it.
Come on, man.
Do me a favor. Sit down. Sit down. Kick your shoes. Kick your shoes off, kid.
No, at all, man. Take it off.
Kick them off. Go ahead.
Take it off.
Kick your shoes
off.
You
got
an
it
asshole,
tight.
dude, okay?
Take it off, man. You done dug all in
They're
my
not
ass.
tight.
You dug all in my ass. Why you can't take your shoe off? Shit. That don't make no sense. Go ahead, take it off. There you go. There you go. I'll take the other one off. You happy?
Crazy.
Exactly.
Dude, it's not like I'm trying to catch you with it.
This don't make no
Yeah.
sense,
It's just
man.
it's illegal, man.
You don't make
know
no
what I'm saying?
sense, man. You said my
Sit
car
down,
smell
sit
like
down.
weed. Now you say it don't.
All this is over weed, marijuana. This is not fentanyl. This is not meth. This is not crack. Weed.
But then you dig all in my ass and grab my dick and shit. How that sound? That don't make no sense.
I'm doing my job.
You ain't doing your job, man.
Done,
You
okay?
ain't doing your job, man.
Yeah.
You ain't doing your job, man. You just illegally searched me. That's what you did.
There's no illegal search here.
You just illegally searched
Well,
me.
then go file a complaint then, okay?
Okay.
Y'all ain't gonna go through
Oh,
it.
they might entertain it.
I ain't got time for that, man. Come on, let's go.
Listen, dude. It's no disrespect, nothing
It
personal.
is, man. It is.
It's not.
Listen how you played that shit.
I didn't even pull you.
Listen how it don't matter. It don't matter. So why you let the motherfucker who pulled me search me then? Exactly. Come on, man. But my car ain't smell like weed. Oh, I ain't got time.
Don't
for
forget
this
your
shit
shoes,
right
all right?
now, man.
Here, stand up.
I ain't got time for this.
You got your.
Take them on, man. I got a license, man. Okay,
You do. You're right.
Exactly.
You can have it. Sorry for the inconvenience, man.
Sorry for the inconvenience. They didn't went in. It's crazy. They didn't went in this man pants, front and back. They violated him so much, and all they saying sorry for the inconvenience.
Sorry for the inconvenience, man.
You straight? It's all good, bro. Trust me.
Like I said, man, it's nothing
It's all
personal.
good, man.
It's not you, man.
It's all
It's these
good.
other guys out here, dude. That's all.
It's all good.
All right, pick them up. Pick them up. Put your belt on.
Nah, you took it loose, didn't you? Shit. Fuck all that, man.
So you're gonna walk around with your pants falling off?
I want everybody to see what you did. You took my motherfucking belt.
You can stay right by this car here.
Look at him.
That man took the belt loose, grabbed my ass, grabbed my dick, everything. I ain't with that shit, but he ain't fun. First he said my car smell like weed. Nah, it don't smell like that.
Hey, right here. You're not even listening.
Listen, I'm right here with you.
You're too close. Come stand right here by me. That's right. We did what we had to do. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to the tent place and I'm gonna get a thing showing how much I paid and what percent that is,
Okay.
so it can show you your meter wrong. That's what y'all going. Y'all going around here pulling people, putting some bullshit ass.
See, look how dark your windows are, man.
It wouldn't matter if the meter. It ain't the meter. It ain't none of that. They just choose to use any excuse to pull somebody over so they can do this type of stuff. Straight violate this man. Didn't find anything and still treating him bad. After they violated him, after they didn't find anything on him, he said sorry for the inconvenience, but that sorry he not sorry about that. He not sorry about none of this.
How dark it is? It ain't what your meter said. It ain't what your meter said.
And you're a professional. You know how dark the
How
windows
dark
can
is
be.
your tent? Put the meter on your tent. How dark is your tent?
We don't want you seen in the car.
But how dark is it?
Okay, I don't know.
Exactly.
I gotta get my tip meter.
Put your meter on there. Let's see what it reads. I
Okay.
just want to see. It might read 13%.
Okay, it
I
might.
want to see.
I think it's darker than that.
Y'all lying, that buffoonery ass tent machine y'all got. That shit ain't no goddamn 13. I took to the tent place and got it done.
So you don't think they?
You think they finna put? I wouldn't even put 13 on that. the fuck I look like? I got license. What I'm gonna put 13
So
on
what'd you tell him to put on there?
Man, listen, man.
What did you tell him to put on there?
It ain't
All right,
13.
okay. Because you can't
It
answer the
ain't
question.
13.
You guys good?
Yeah. They big good. I don't even shit. The whole thing was pointless, man. They do. They don't smell like weed.
Whoever you had in there, either you just got done smoking it.
Smell like weed. It's a black and mild on the
It ain't-
door. Wet smell. He sat here and said it didn't smell like weed. He walked right up to me. Oh, your car doesn't smell like weed now. After you done ran through my shit.
And they still write him a ticket. You got to think, after all this, they still writing him a ticket.
What's the fix it? 360, 610, right?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
Y'all be acting the same way I'm acting with the invaded your products. That shit ain't cool at all, man. I ain't never in my life been searched like that, man. Never. This man stuck his finger in my ass. Never in my life have I been searched like that. Since when do they do that? You tell me. Never in my life, man. You go to prison, they don't even do that shit, man. You go to jail, they don't even search you like that. What the fuck get that man the right to do that shit in the street? That ain't cool at all, for real. And what's his name again? Ricardo, can you write his name? I need to Google him. I need to look him up.
Google?
Yeah, I need to look him up. Look at his name.
The front windows, you're at 15%. The front windows are illegal. They got to be at 25%.
I understand what you're saying.
Listen. I'm gonna explain to you the ticket. The front windows have to be 25%. It's at 15%. Your back windows are legal. Your front windows are illegal. This is a fix-it ticket. Take care of it within 30 days. Go get it fixed. Otherwise, it's like a $160 ticket for each window.
I appreciate that.
Just go get it fixed. Get this signed. And take care of it within 30 days. All right.
Man, that wasn't called for, man. You said right. You even heard him out your own mouth. He said after he came up to me and said, "Your car don't smell like weed." And what this man stuck.
One thing I want to say is trying to plead your case to another officer is they don't care. They don't care. Don't ever try to plead your case and try to get them to be on your side or anything like that. Like, you know what he did was wrong and this and that. They all are part of the same gang. No matter if they'll play. That's what good cop, bad cop. Some of them gonna act like they cool with, and then while the other one's acting crazy, then you're gonna he gonna make you think it's okay to, none of them are your friends, none of them on your side, none of them care. They all move as one unit. Just know that.
His finger in my ass. That ain't.
You sign right here for me.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Katardi, what? What's his first name? I need his first name, so I need to Google him. For real. I need to Google Katardi.
This is Commander DeVal, Cocoa Police Department. Today's date is May 20th. I got a new watch, so 2019. Time is 3:24 p.m. This is regards to IA 19-10-IA. Present in the room is Officer Rock Contardi, along with his representation, Al Betcha from PBA. Rock, will you raise your right hand? Do you swear the statement you just provided, or you will provide, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Prior to going on tape, I had you read and sign your Garrity warning. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions regarding that?
No, sir.
You also had an opportunity to go through all the evidence that I have here.
Yes.
You have any questions for that?
No.
Okay. All right, Rock. This isn't.
When you get to a specific issue, please reference the documentation that you provided us so that he can be clear about his answer.
Okay. On March 12, 2019, a Marvin Passawi responded to the police department and spoke to Sergeant Moon in regards to a traffic stop involving you, Officer Rhodes, and Officer Baez. Are you familiar with that stop?
I am.
All right. His allegation is that he was stopped for the tint, and that he was told that the car smelled like marijuana, and he was handcuffed, pulled from the vehicle, and you searched him with gloves on, but stuck your finger in his rectum, and also searched down his pants looking for any type of narcotics, which evidently you did not find any. Is that you aware of his complaint?
I am aware of it.
Okay, can you tell me, in your words, your involvement with the traffic stop?
I responded to backup Officer Rose on a traffic stop. During the course of the investigation, Officer Rose notified me that the car smelled like marijuana, and that was upon my initial arrival. Upon my contact with the driver, Mr. Marvin, I did detect a strong distinct odor of marijuana emitting from inside the vehicle. I inquired to Mr. Marvin if there was anything illegal inside the vehicle, such as drugs, and he informed me there was not. I asked him to step out of the vehicle, at which time I conducted a pat down of his pockets, exterior portion. Mr. Marvin began to disobey my commands of keeping his hands on the vehicle. Became fidgety. For officer safety purposes, I didn't know what Mr. Marvin's, what his actions might have been. So for officer safety purposes, I detained him with handcuffs in order to properly conduct a pat down of his clothing. At which point, nothing was found inside outside his pockets or anything. I brought him back to my vehicle, at which time Officer Bias stayed present with him, and at which time Officer Rose and I began a search of the vehicle for the marijuana that we were smelling.
Okay, so when you're searching him, when you first take him out of the car, he basically says you're touching his dick, you're looking in his dick, and that's why he's flinching. Did you conduct a search under his, manipulate his scrotum area outside the pants?
There was no manipulation. I just used my hands, went inside his pockets, did not touch any private area at the time, because I was still, unaware where the possible drugs could have been, whether they're on him,
Possible drugs.
concealed, or they're inside the vehicle.
So for y'all just tuning in, so I didn't realize that I had made this stream private. So I was wondering, I'm like, dang, nobody on in the live stream, but it's I had it private. So where we at now is the deposition of this bodybuilding police officer who, for one, they profiled this man, this black man. They profiled him, pulled him over, and gave him a BS reason why he pulled him over. Said his tent was too dark, gave some bogus number like 13%. Hey, your tent is too dark. So they used that the tent is too dark to then roll over into, oh, we smell marijuana in the car. So first off, they lied. They switched up later and said, oh, it doesn't smell like marijuana anymore, or whatever. Then so they figure since the car doesn't smell like marijuana, he must have stashed the drugs on him. So they go to checking his pocket. This cop reaches his hand inside his pants and fondles him. This is it's crazy. So he touched all on his private area in the front and was sliding his hand up and down his crack to see if any drugs were on this man. So after all that, no drugs have been found, and they still are treating him bad. And then after all that, he then undid his pants, make him take off his shoes. It was a sad scene. Then after all that, they still gave him a ticket for the tent, the BS reason why they pulled him over. They gave him a ticket for that. No drugs was found, and all that officer had to say was sorry for your inconvenience. Sorry for the inconvenience. That's all this bodybuilding cop had to say. This juice head cop, and this is, it's disgusting. Wait till y'all see the beginning part of this. It's crazy.
He was very close to the vehicle, and so I was smelling the marijuana. So I wasn't sure if it was coming from him or the vehicle, which is why I separated him from the vehicle.
Okay. Now, your body cam footage, when it comes on, you're well into the search. How come, per policy, you didn't have your body cam on prior to arriving?
Sometimes I forget to turn it on right away.
Okay. So you searched the vehicle, and during the search, you're discussing with Officer Rhodes about whether he could have put it down his pants. You believe it was down his pants, and you don't want to have to go in and get it. What were you referring to? It's
been my experience through the contact that I've had in the past encounters with several subjects. A lot of the time, the drugs and the illegal narcotics are not going to be in plain view. When you go up to a car and you smell weed, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to say, here, officer, here's the drugs. It takes investigation, and you have to go through, it's a process.
Mm-hmm.
So Officer Rhodes and I were just, conversating about where the drugs could possibly be. Because of how he acted when I went to do that pat down and that preliminary search indicated to me that there may be something hidden in there.
How he acted. He's talking about how a man reacted to another man touching his junk. Like how do you expect the man to react? Like, come on, man.
Because when I did go around his pockets, he began to flinch, which is why I had to detain him. And past experiences, when people become fidgety like that and agitated and aggressive, a lot of the time they are hiding something. And that was my interpretation of it, that he was hiding something. And I was just confirming with Officer Rose that he also did smell the marijuana, and it was a possibility that it was on him, and it may not have been in the car. It was a strong possibility that was my interpretation, that through my experiences as a cop here in the Cocoa Police Department, the past 5 years, people that use drugs, people that know the streets and have contact with police and have arrest records like this guy, they know where to hide it, where we're not going to go.
Well, there's a reason why they hide it there.
Because most of the time we're not going to go there.
Well, most of the time you can't go there.
And most of the time we don't go there.
Right. So that's why they hide it there. Mm-hmm. So based on what you have here, what makes you go to the next level at this point?
The next level, based on my experiences in the past, enhanced it from the search of the car to the search of his pockets to checking underneath the undergarments.
Okay.
And then doing the hand sweep of the blade, using the blade of your hand to do the buttocks. Based on my experiences, if they're going to hide it there, that's how you would check. That's how you would check with the blade of your hand underneath the pants and the undergarments, because it'll be tucked. It'll be tucked in an area that you're not going to feel through just a search. You're not going to feel it there. It's going to be tucked. It's going to be tucked there. And you're going to you kind of got to go a little bit in there, and you got to extend a little bit just to make sure it's not there. I did not grope, fondle, or anything like that. It was.
Well, you went in there a little bit further than a little bit. I mean, you can physically see you moving his penis to the side to get to the other side.
In order to feel it, in order to possibly locate something that I believed, based on my experiences, was there, and it wasn't. And that's when I used the blade of my hand to do his rear end, because that's oftentimes where they hide it also. Those two spots are very common. And if you look at my arrest record, you're going to see, when people clench, when they clench their buttocks, they're clenching for a reason. You just don't do that. When they clench it, they may be hiding something. And I've had arrests where things have been hidden there. I've had arrests where things have been hidden, in that private area in front. And that's just based on my experiences as a street level cop in the city of Cocoa, in my beat, which is Zone 1, which is heavily influenced with narcotics possessions and dealings.
Did you stick your finger in his rectum when you were searching?
No, sir.
Okay. Yes, Al.
Have you ever had contact with Mr. Marvin prior to that incident?
Yes, I have.
What was that incident?
Traffic stop.
Did you issue him a ticket?
No.
Okay. So it was just a traffic stop?
It was a traffic stop on Pineda Street. I would say maybe a month or two prior to this. When you watch my video, we reference it because he says, "I remember you." And it took me a minute, and then I remembered him. I pulled him over. I believe it was a tag light. Approached the car, smelled the weed. No, officer. I asked him, do you have anything illegal inside the vehicle? Same MO. No. He didn't give me as much of a problem as he did this time. Even though I still got him out of the car, I patted him down. I searched the exterior part of his pockets, and I wasn't, based on that, because of the friendliness, I gave him a verbal warning.
So did you go to that extent that time as you did on this one?
No, I didn't.
What was the difference?
The difference was this was my second encounter. The marijuana smell was much stronger on his person this time, as opposed to my first encounter with him, where I felt like the smell was coming from inside the vehicle a little bit more that time. And I did search the vehicle, not an extensive search like we did this one. It was more, I would say the stop was probably a quarter, if not the half or maybe a quarter of the time that this one was. It wasn't a long investigation at all.
So you feel that the search you conducted on Mr. Passawi was just, in your mind, looking for narcotics?
Based on the totality of the circumstances, I'm going to say I went a little too far.
Okay. A little too far, or?
Yeah, I believe I searching him. I didn't, when I look at it, it's marijuana. Really, I mean, to dig like that for marijuana. No, there doesn't have to be a reason for that.
Exactly.
Well, and it's a good reason to bring up the other one. I'm going to move to that traffic stop now, where you stopped the young man with the marijuana. Mm-hmm. We watched the video of that, and in that video, you ask him about the marijuana, and he actually comes up with it and hands it to you. Mm-hmm. You're willing to throw, or what'd you do with that marijuana?
It was discarded.
How?
I threw it out.
Just in the garbage?
In a dumpster.
Okay. So why didn't you just drop that into evidence?
I should have.
Destroy. Okay.
I never got around to it. I should have.
So it's not a big deal on that traffic stop with the kid, the marijuana. Why did it go to such an extreme with Mr. Passaway with marijuana?
Because with the kid on that stop, he was upfront and honest. And if you look at, I don't arrest everybody that I come across with drugs. And I'll tell them, if you watch a lot of my videos when I deal with these people, if you're upfront and you're honest with me, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to let you go with the verbal warning. It's when you, and I'll say this, is when you make me work. It's when I've had contact with you before and I've arrested you for things, or, I have an indication of you may be hiding something, or you're in possession of something and you're being dishonest. That's when I look to pursue it a little farther, as opposed to honesty and being straight with me. Making my job a little easier,
right? So
I can get those drugs off the street.
No, and I get it. Everybody says that, but I mean, you met with people lie to you all the time. That's what they do. They lie to the police.
That's one of the hardest things for me to deal with is people lying to me,
right?
Because I take it a little too personally, and that's something I have to do a better job with. And I've said that before, and I still say it, and that's just something I got to work on.
Okay. So back to the traffic stop with Officer Rhodes. How many times have you conducted a traffic stop in that same manner, thought the drugs were there or smelled the drugs were there, and conducted the same type of search?
So you're referring to initially or the latter search?
The latter search. I mean, basically the strip search, if you will. Because Officer Baez said he's been with you 4 times when you've done that, and he actually didn't even know it was a violation of policy until this incident, is what he testified to.
Mm-hmm. So,
did you do it those 4 times or more than 4 times?
All circumstances are different. It's not going to happen the same every time. Well, one of them that Baez was on with me is, the guy. I brought the guy out of the car. Went to searching him. I did the blade in my hand in his buttocks. He clinched up. He clinched hard. And then he started yelling and shouting. And then what I felt when I did the hand of my blade was something hard, and a hard object in there. And sure enough, he had a big bag of weed, or big bag of crack. I think it was maybe 15, 20 grams of crack cocaine. Passenger had the same exact thing. And I found that later. He had a warrant. And I found that later at the PD. He did the same exact thing, and he had time. So the circumstances are always different. Do they have time to do it? You know, what's his arrest record like? You know, how is he acting? These are all things that as a street level cop, I learned to realize and understand. And that's how their behavior and their actions is how I do my job. I go off of them.
But policy has restrictions on when you can do that and when you can't, not just what the atmosphere is at the time.
Okay.
On that note, were you aware of the agency's policy as it's written?
Probably not as clear cut as I should have been.
Did you read it? Because you signed for it. You signed for the policy back in 2017 for that specific policy with searches.
We agree, it's there, he signed off.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, July 10th, 2017. And are you aware what the policy said in regards to strip searches is basically what you could.
I am now. It was my impression at the time it wasn't a strip search. When I think of strip search, I think of bringing him back to the PD, taking his clothes off when something is too far from my grasp. You know, if they hide something, it's not going to be too far from my grasp right away. And at the same time, you got to think about, well, if they put it in their anal cavity like that and it gets lodged up in there, it could be a health issue. You know?
Well, that's why we have procedures and policy for things like that. I mean, it goes on to cavity searches if we're concerned about something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the policy is there to protect you and the citizens of illegal searches.
Okay.
And perfectly in this situation, I get that other people, there was drugs found on him, but there was no drugs found on him.
But
So-
it wasn't a problem then. Why is it a problem now? Because I didn't find anything and because he made a complaint on me?
Well, it's because it's a violation of law and policy.
Then why wasn't this addressed when that was going on?
I don't know why it was addressed. I mean, this is the first that we've gotten a complaint about it.
Okay.
And, you know, put yourself in that. If that was your son or your daughter and they just dropped off a friend who smoked marijuana in the car and an officer pulls up and they smell the marijuana and they thinking what you're thinking and they pull him out and they search him the way you searched him in a parking lot with people walking around, how do you think you'd feel about the officer doing that to your child?
Well, this isn't my child. This wasn't, you know, this wasn't an upstanding citizen.
He was about to say, this isn't anyone's child.
This was a guy that smokes.
Then he said, this is not an upstanding citizen. Now he's trying to make the person sound. He's trying to make this man sound like the worst person in the world because he did the wrong thing.
Tweed that gets arrested for crack cocaine possession, that goes to jail, that comes and wants to get a good cop off the street and file a complaint. That's what this guy is. That's what this kind of person is.
Yeah, but we can't take somebody's past and use it against them for anything future. I mean, what if this guy has, you know, he found Jesus and he's come clean and he's trying to get his life
So why
straight.
does he smell like weed now?
Maybe somebody was in the car.
Why didn't he say that? Did he say that during?
Well,
the
he doesn't have to
investigation?
say it.
Well, then why wouldn't he dispel my fear that officer,
He doesn't have
I
to
just dropped
say
my
it.
friend off. He was just smoking weed. Maybe it would.
But he doesn't have to tell you that. Do you know what the Fifth Amendment is? Do you know what that is? It's a right to not incriminate yourself. So during a traffic stop, I don't have to say a word to you.
Okay, well, he was saying how it was the black and mild smelling.
He didn't have to. What I'm saying is he didn't have to say a word.
Okay.
He didn't even have to talk to you. Here's my license, and that's the extent of it.
Okay.
And then you have to investigate the call.
And I did investigate it.
Right, but you're investigating it. You just testified that you investigated based on his past. You felt like it was
just
worth.
his past. It was everything going on. It wasn't just his past. I told you. It's the totality of the circumstance. It's not just people's past. It's their actions and behaviors while I'm on scene with them, during my contact with them, is how I go about my job. And I felt strongly that it was hidden inside his pants, somewhere and concealed, either under his private area or concealed in his buttocks. Based on my experiences as a cop here, that's where they hide the drugs, and that's why I did what I did.
And you feel it's justified to do that type of search to get the drugs?
For marijuana, no. For the smell of marijuana, no. Did I do too much? Was I trying to do too much because of maybe I didn't want this guy getting away with this? Yeah.
So what if you found crack in his ass? Is it justified?
If I found crack?
Yeah. Do you feel like it's justified for you to conduct that search If it was more than marijuana.
How is that I don't understand how using the blade of my hand on his buttock, I don't understand how that's a search.
Well, take the blade out. You stuck your hand in his private area.
Right, and I told you that's where they hide it.
That's a violation of your.
Okay, so I admit to a violation.
Well, what I'm trying to get is your peace of mind when it comes to searching people, whether you think it's right or wrong, and if there's a line you cross. I think you see the means justify the ends if you are able to get the narcotics or the gun or whatever it is at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But there's laws that protect people in this country that prevent you from allowing you to do that without probable cause.
I feel like I had probable cause.
Just because you smelled marijuana.
Reasonable suspicion on his behavior, on his actions, his attitude.
But you can't go off of that.
That's what I went off of.
You smelled marijuana.
Yes.
And based on that marijuana smell, you felt like it was justified to strip search him in a parking lot.
I do not feel like I strip searched him.
Well, per our policy, you did. And actually, our policy mimics state statute. So that same wording in our policy is taken straight from state statute.
Okay. I don't see how checking underneath his private area and then using the blade of my hand on his buttocks, I don't understand how that's a strip search. I don't.
Because it's not that you felt a gun and you were trying to do it for officer safety. You're smelling marijuana.
I was looking for marijuana.
And it wasn't there.
Right. It wasn't there.
Right. So everything you did to this guy was not just. Go ahead, Al.
At the times that you conducted this search or anything similar,
Go ahead, Al.
Man. So this officer is, he's already admitted he shouldn't have did it. He's already said that. But it's the fact that he truly believes that he's doing the right thing by doing this. Crazy. Insane. And this is why, especially if you're not driving, do not give up your ID. Or let me say this. If you're in the passenger seat and the car gets pulled over, only the driver has to reveal his identity. And with this, and it's the fact he said, I smell marijuana. I smell marijuana. This whole time, no marijuana was found. He done stuck his hand, moving around his private parts, literally like moving it to the other side and then moving it back, checking up under. Then he takes the this part of his hand is going up and down. Come on, man. Come on. All for marijuana. Even if it wasn't for marijuana, they still can't do that. It is what they're talking about in this deposition right here.
Times that you conducted this search or anything similar to it, did you understand your agency's policy, which mirrors Florida state statute?
No, sir.
When do you feel that it's justified to search a person for whatever reason?
When you're arresting them.
So that's perfect on this one. He wasn't even arrested.
Right.
That's where our policy starts.
Searching. What do you talk? What do you mean strip search?
I'm talking about any search. You're saying you're able to, or you feel you're justified in searching anyone if you think you have enough to do it, whether it be you smell it, their attitude, or their past history.
I don't feel like that was a full-blown search.
Well, what's missing?
I got news for you. I think it was still tucked. I still think it was still tucked away, and I just couldn't feel it. If you really want to know the truth, but I wasn't trying to go any further than I did.
I think you went pretty far. I think if there was anything in there, especially the amount you're smelling.
No, I didn't. The video, yeah, you can look at the video all day long. I know what happened. I know what happened there because I was there. And you guys can look at the video all day long and say this and say that. I know what truly happened. Was that justified? I feel like it was. And it may not meet the mold of the policy here, but I feel like it was. And I've made arrests and I've found drugs. I found a lot of drugs doing that same method.
Do you know this gentleman could file a federal lawsuit against you for unlawful search and seizure? Are you aware of that?
I mean, you could sue anybody for anything these days. So,
well, if
he feels like he really needs to,
well, I don't know.
Which, according to you, he hasn't done anything, and a lot of people are all talk, right?
I get it. I'm just making you aware of that. He's
trying to get a good cop off the street, and you guys are entertaining it. At the end of the day, that's what it is.
Well, I have to entertain every complaint, and to be honest with you,
that's why I even told him to go and file a complaint.
Right.
That's why Bias told him, if you have a complaint, go file it. But if you listen to the video, he consents to whatever I'm going to do. Just get it over with so I can leave. If you listen to it, just go ahead.
But that doesn't make it okay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. I'm not going to argue with you.
Well, I'm just trying to get your state of mind at the time.
My state of mind was he was hiding something, and this was probably the second time. And based on his history, based on his actions that day, based on the totality of the circumstance of everything going on, the heavy smell of weed that was inside the car, we took him out, then it was coming from him. I felt like it was concealed on his person based on my experiences in the past with the arrests that I've made and the contact that I've had with people.
Okay. How come you didn't complete a report on that call, that you searched him and backed up Officer Rhodes or anything?
I don't think Officer Rhodes even wrote a report.
No, he didn't. He gave him a ticket.
Okay. You don't write reports on just tickets, right?
Well, it was a little bit more than just a ticket. I mean, that's why we're here, are we not?
It was just a ticket, then it became a complaint, and then you guys put me on suspension. So I don't know when I was supposed to do a report.
Well,
and then even Sergeant Moon said this was going to be nothing.
Why would he say that?
I don't know. You ask him.
Okay. All right.
He said he was going to take. He didn't know how he was going to explain it, but I said, "Is this going to be? You think this is going to be an IA?" He said, "I don't think so."
Well, he testified that he spoke to you in the past about going up to the line and going past it, and he actually talked about this after
we had a conversation.
Okay, so
about not just this, about everything going on,
right?
You know, because I feel like he was maybe concerned about what might be going on in my personal life and things like that, how it may be affecting my job. And things weigh on me. This really had nothing to do with, this was Rock, the police officer, trying to get drugs off the streets and trying to clean up the streets. That's what this was.
I get that. And that's what we should do. But there's rules and regulations and policies and laws that we have to follow to get there.
I agree.
And unfortunately, the bad guy doesn't have to follow those policies. So
I agree.
That's why they put him in the places where they know you can't or shouldn't go. So, I mean, that's the struggles we have every day.
Let's move.
So after you were suspended, they took your vehicle, your patrol vehicle, and Lieutenant Delator did a search of your vehicle to inventory. And in the car, you saw the photos. There was
do it by each one.
So I'll just. Well, the first one is the bullets or rounds in the door. The second one is just shown.
What do you want a response on that?
Those rounds are for my firearm.
Okay, so they're just extra ammo.
Yes.
Okay, and the second one is just a cup in the console, and I think he's taking it for an overall.
Look at the picture.
No, that's an air freshener cup. What's her name? One of the girls gave it to me in dispatch. It's for air fresheners to make your car smell better.
Okay, so he's just taking an overall shot of your car.
Right. That's what that is.
And that's the entire interior of your patrol car.
It appears so.
Okay. And under that cup, he found some money and a plastic bag that appears to be, cocaine or meth or something.
Yeah, it was.
What was it?
It was probably cocaine.
Do you remember where you got it from?
Yeah, I got it from Provost Park. Me and Houchins checked out with the group at Provost Park, about 4 or 5 of them, and one of them had a gun on him. and we were looking around, and right next on the ground, standing right next to another guy was 3 bags of that crack.
So you just picked it up?
Yeah, I had to do it. I tried, you know, I talked to the guy, interviewed the guy. He wasn't claiming ownership of it, even though I knew it was his. So I just let him go, and I was going to drop that in evidence. I just never got around to it, but I should have.
What happened to the other 2 bags?
There's one there.
That's it.
Then the other 2 were discarded.
And then this picture is between the seat and the back shield, I guess, between the driver's seat and between that and the back seat is crack cocaine in a plastic baggie.
Okay.
Where did this come from?
Honestly, I don't even. I mean that I don't even know that was there, to be honest.
Okay.
Where it was behind my seat.
It's behind the passenger seat.
So I'm in the driver's seat. He's in the passenger seat. It's here.
Yeah,
It's behind you.
Between the
So it could have
shield.
fell, or it could have been.
Shield, yeah.
How long could it have been there? It could have been there for a while.
Yeah, I don't know how long.
Right, I don't know.
Okay.
So the question I would ask you is, did you ever search that area and see?
No.
that?
The large plastic bag contained several white rock substance under the passenger seat. So that's where that was, passenger seat, under the passenger seat.
Okay.
And then the trunk was a plastic bag with a $10 bill and a credit card.
I think that was a counterfeit bill, and that was a maybe a credit card that it just found on the ground. It should have been dropped into evidence.
So and also speaking of the evidence in your mailbox was located driver's license.
Yeah, that stuff all had to go back to the DHSMV. I just hadn't placed it in evidence yet.
And the tag.
Correct. All 3.
But these was from 2018 cases.
Yeah, it was sitting in I had a bunch of stuff in my mailbox that I had to clean up.
Do you drop any evidence that?
I drop plenty of evidence. Yes, I always drop evidence most of the time.
So do you drop evidence that is in a criminal case? It kind of seems like when it's not a criminal case or you have charges pending that you don't really worry about dropping
When I take it
evidence.
as found property, if I drop it in evidence, I drop it. If I don't, then I'll discard it. But those occasions are the only times that I haven't dropped it into property is those times, which is why they were found.
Right. But don't you feel like evidence is a huge part of what we do and to protect the chain of custody and I mean, you got to testify for this stuff in court. So if I was a defense attorney and I got a hold of this, I'd say, Officer Contardi, do you have a habit of not worrying about evidence and leaving it in your car?
It's not a habit. It's not a habit. It's just, I do a lot of things. I respond to a lot of calls for service. I write a lot of reports. I don't always get around to dropping found property.
So it's just the found property.
It's all found property.
Okay. And you don't know where the crack was, where you got it, the bag under the passenger?
No, sir. I mean, that could have been something I got found property and it fell there and I forgot about it.
And these were death cases that you worked that I guess you responded to?
Yeah, those were my investigations.
Okay. Here. This incident was an arrest with Jamal Travis with the gun.
Travis Jones, yeah.
Travis Jones. The state non-prosted because they basically said they wouldn't survive a motion to suppress because there was no body cam video. Is there a reason why you didn't have your body cam?
My battery was dead.
Okay.
I don't understand how they could so because there's no video?
They don't state why. What was the reasons? But
they said no video. That was the reason, no video.
Well, the court will find issues with the detention, and then it says there is no body cam video of it. So I don't know if it's just based on the body cam or something else.
Gotcha.
They didn't explain.
But your explanation is the battery was dead, you remember?
I believe the battery was dead.
Okay. And this was the traffic stop with the marijuana we already covered.
Right.
I know you said you threw out the marijuana, but you even put on your call that you found property. So was your intentions to
Yes.
drop the marijuana?
My intentions were to drop it, yes.
Okay, but
I just never got around. It was early in the shift. I should have, but I got to the station and there were, I got caught up in my reports, and then you start talking with people, and then it's the end of the shift, and I went home, and here we go. I just tossed it.
okay. Officer Moon said when you had your taser download every month or yearly or quarterly, they do taser downloads to get the report. She stated that when she did your taser download, you didn't have any cartridges in your taser. You were out of cartridges, basically. You had an empty taser, and you were a little shocked that there was no cartridges in there.
No, I think there was one missing.
Okay, but I couldn't find any usages for a taser.
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened with that?
I think maybe it was just one dropped out.
Okay. Okay.
I was weirded out that there was only one in there.
Right. Yeah.
Which had to have been recent, because I check the thing once every week.
Well, and that's why I said I looked at your response to resistance, and I didn't see any dealing with a
I'll do the
taser.
spark test once a week, so it had to have been fairly recent that I might have lost one.
Okay. And you were hired back in what, 2012 initially?
I was hired initially in 2012.
Okay, so when I looked at your body cam videos, they're all there every day, labeled, CR numbers, everything. You came back in April of 2017. 90% of your body cam videos are not labeled. They're not scheduled for evidence. You can see a significant difference from the time you left and then the time you came back. Didn't know if there was anything significant about that.
I think when I came back, I started doing a lot more. I started writing more reports. I started arresting more people. And it was, to keep up with everything is difficult. It's a challenge for me, because I don't only have this job. I got things going on at home too. So I don't always get around to doing things that I should. And sometimes it takes me a little longer to go through the videos, to sit there and watch all my videos, because talk to Sergeant Moon, talk to Sergeant Rush and Corporal Toulier. I respond to almost every call we have, either as a primary or a backup. I try to go and assist my guys.
No, I get it.
Right, so I have a lot of
something's got to give.
Yeah, I got to do a better job of keeping up with that. I don't have it on my phone. I have an old phone that I can't even get this evidence.com on. So every time I got to sit there and go through all and watch them all, and then go back and find the CR number. So if you don't keep up with it every night you got to do it. If you don't do it, then one night becomes two, and then you look at how many you have for two. Oh, I got 55 videos I got to watch, and then you get through a quarter of them, and then you can't really do anymore.
Because if I asked you to find a video right now on a specific call, you're not doing it without looking at every video.
That's what I mean. So to get.
That's why he asked you about the videos, through me to look at the videos.
And I did look at the videos, and there was nothing.
The one from Provost Park?
No, I didn't see that one. But he asked me to look a day before, the day of, and the day after.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think, because, let's see, that was, you talking about the stop. When was the stop? When was that?
With the marijuana?
Yeah, when was that?
That was
because I feel like I got those
March 12th.
Those 3 bags of cocaine.
Oh no, you're talking about the kid.
March 12th.
You're talking about the marijuana.
Yeah, the one with the white kid. Well, whatever. But I think I got those bags of cocaine that week on Provost Park, and I didn't drop the property, so. To write the report.
This is February 13th.
Okay, it's February, and it was a missing report that I didn't do.
Right. Actually, when you were on suspension, Sergeant Moon came.
I got the email before you guys cut off my email. I got the email, and I called Penny and I said, "Listen, I'm out right now, but I know that report's going to be missing. And it's something I got to do. It's a found property report."
Right, and it wouldn't have been a problem until I couldn't find the found property.
Right.
I mean. Okay. I mean, I get your answers on why you're not doing the paperwork and dropping the evidence.
No,
but
there's no justification.
Right.
I got to do the paperwork. I got to drop the evidence. That's the bottom line.
okay.
That's the bottom line.
All right. You have anything you want to add?
Do you understand at this point in time, after reviewing all of this today, the proper procedures that you must adhere to as it applies to searches of
To keep my
persons?
job, yes.
Yes.
To keep my job, yes. I understand that now. To keep my job. I like this job. I feel like I help the community. Everybody out here knows who I am.
I know. I mean, you're a proactive officer. I get it.
And it's just not being about proactive. It's about, people, and this is what gets me in trouble. It's the fact that, I care. It's the fact that I care, and I'm not a robot, and I'm never going to be a robot where you just go out, oh, sorry, ma'am, I can't help you. Or you need the number of the DV shelter. I don't know, look it up on Google. I go a little farther. It's not just the arrest that I make. A lot of people, know who I am because of the work that I do. Is I go farther than most of these cops. I care a little bit more. And Commander, that gets me in trouble too. It's because I care.
Well, I could see that. But as long as you can do that, you can be that guy and be that helpful and also stay within the boundary and be proactive and get the drugs and get the guns off the
I
street.
agree with you. And I have to do a better job of evaluating the situation and ask myself, is it worth it?
Right. You might not get them today.
Is it worth it going and getting a little marijuana that guy might be hiding from me? But it wasn't about the marijuana. It's the fact that he was lying to me. And I knew he wasn't. This was the second time he was. And I didn't want him
That's
getting away
what they
again, but
do.
that's what they can do.
Lie to us.
And
that's their
Commander,
job.
that's
Our
all.
job.
And it's hard for me working in this city for as long as I have. I'm not a Viera cop. I've been working Zone 1 and Zone 2. I don't want to work anywhere else. I don't want to go and hide in Zone 3.
No, I
Or
get it.
go to Walmart and make the theft arrests and sit there all day like some of the guys do. I'm in the thick of things. I'm driving around Peachtree Street, Prospect Ave, Fern Ave, Fisk Boulevard. That's my loop. And I do that probably 100 times a shift. And the people that I deal with, they're not going to be the upstanding citizens that most of these cops deal with. I'm not going to go and hide. I'm not going to be lazy. I'm going to go and do my job and do what I feel like I need to do as a good cop here and make a difference. And it's probably going to jam me up if I don't do everything by the book. And that's something that I need to do a better job.
The worst part of this job is the paperwork.
Knowing policy, knowing that I got, okay, if someone runs a stop sign, well, I got 50 videos I got to label. So what am I going to do? You know what I've been doing in the past? I've been stopping that guy. And you know what? I've been getting a gun or I've been getting drugs. And guess what? Those 50 videos the next morning turn into 100 videos that I haven't labeled, but I got that arrest. I'm feeding the beast.
But what you're doing is not. You're getting to the arrest part. They're not doing anything.
Right,
So I mean, yeah, you got a gun off the street, is what you said. However, the guy's on the street now. Maybe he wouldn't have been on the street if you had the video, if you had a good search or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all for nothing because you're getting that gun off, but they're turning around. I
know exactly what you're saying, but this is one instance. If you talk to Phil Archer, he'll tell you everything you need to know about me. I think he thinks I do a good job. Have you talked toIl Archer?
No, but I think if you watch that video,
Phil Archer. Who am I thinking of?
Phil Williams.
Phil Williams.
Yeah.
Right. No, he speaks highly of me. We talk.
But I think if he'd see that video, he'd have issues with
Rock,
it.
what the hell are you doing?
Right.
You're doing too much. Rock, you're doing too much. And I agree, I'm doing too much. I don't need to do all that. Maybe I should just need to respond to my calls for service. Maybe I don't have to be proactive.
Or instead of those 2 late calls that you take time to do the paperwork and then label the videos. Those are they're not the exciting things of the job. However, it's the housekeeping that we need to do.
It's the policy of the job.
Right.
It's how you keep your job. You have to do the
Right.
little things. And I've just been doing, in my mind, the things that are more important than the little things. But the little things are just as important in keeping your job here. And that was,
If not more, like the evidence to me is,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what your whole job is about, is protect the evidence and to testify about it.
It was laziness. It it's not what good cops do. And I feel like I'm a good cop, and I need to do a better job of taking care of the little technicality policy things, so this doesn't happen. Like you said, if I wasn't, if I got around to dropping that weed, that would have never came up.
Right.
You know, so it's the little things that are more important.
He came to me and said he didn't have a call, and he said it was a traffic stop. I said, probably not a big deal. I'm not going to worry about it until I actually had to watch it and make sure it wasn't a big deal, and then it became a big deal.
Yeah.
And then it was the rabbit hole. I turn around and there's stuff in your mailbox. Shouldn't be there. I mean, you got a guy, brother came from out of state because he died. You think he'd rather have that driver's license?
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, that's what it is. It's sitting in your box still. We did an inventory in your car, and there's all this drugs in there. I mean, those are the things that ruin cops on the stand.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the lack of integrity when it comes to protecting the evidence and dropping it into evidence and
organized.
Right.
But you asked my wife, I'm not a very organized person. And that's another thing that I got to work on, is I'm not really organized. Look at my trunk, for crying out loud. I just place things, just so within reach. So I don't have to dig for it. So I know exactly where it is. And, my asp, my spray, my tent meter, my ticket writer, or the ticket book, I know where all the statute book, I know where it is. It may be messy, but I know where it's at, and I knew those things were in there. I just had to take care of it, and I didn't. I had to take care of it, and I didn't. That's the bottom line. So.
Okay. Al, you got anything to add?
No, I think we covered all the ground.
All right. Raise your right hand for me. You swear the statement just provided is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, that's going to conclude the interview. The time now is 4:06 p.m. Then he says to you, do you want me to go get it? But you don't say anything. Do you answer him?
No.
You don't say anything to him?
I don't even know if I actually heard that.
Okay.
You
mean you didn't hear it at that time?
Correct.
But you heard it on
I heard it on the video, yes.
Okay. So when he goes back and he goes to search him further, are you aware what kind of search he's doing?
No.
You have to have a specific reason as to why you do what you do. You just can't willy-nilly do it.
Well, this was on a non-moving traffic infraction.
I know.
For tint.
All right. So I'm going to stop the share. So that was the deposition or the interview of Rock Contardi, who was a cop who illegally searched this man, dug all in his private areas to find some marijuana. And this is the thing with cops. Some cops actually want to help, maybe, but they forget that the way I think they look at TV cops and think, oh, that's what we're gonna do we're gonna take the TV cop stuff into reality. So when cops on TV talk about, oh, we got to violate their rights to get something done, and it basically like what they said, where the means justify the ends justify the means, or the means justify the ends, or however you want to say it. But basically, he still doesn't think he did the wrong thing. No, he knows that he did the wrong thing, but if this didn't happen, he would still be doing the same thing. Yeah, man, it's and y'all, if you go back and you see the beginning of this stream with him actually doing the search and everything, it was crazy. And the way he said he's really trying to clean up the streets, and if you really trying to clean up the streets, you don't go about it by just running around violating people. Yeah. But I guess, and the thing is, I mean, being a cop is not a easy job by any means. I'm gonna say that if you're a real cop, it's not an easy job. If you're a bad cop, then that job is pretty easy. But if you're a good cop, being a cop is a difficult job. I'm gonna say that. But then he talked about he was being honest though. That's the thing about this cop. He was a little bit more honest about things than most cops would be. What y'all say? Anarchy Television say, if people don't think that people can be trusted with freedom and self-governance, what makes anyone think that anyone can be trusted with power? Oh, that that's a question right there. But yeah. So what else? I wanted to, it was this, they had this thing called street cop training. Let me see where it's at. I think it was something like this. So this is the, hold on. Let me go back. New Jersey Office of State Comptroller. So the Office of State Comptroller investigated a private police training conference in New Jersey. The conference was held by a private company called Street Cop Training. OSCC's investigate found more than 100 discriminatory and harassing comments were made by the speakers. So the criminal lawyer talked about this on his channel, and it made me check it out because I didn't even believe that this is real. But they actually had a conference called Street Training that officers are paying like, I think like thousands of dollars or close to $1,000 to I'm not even sure the full amount for each one, but it's a lot. And the stuff that they're training these cops on is insane. And you'll realize why cops have the mentality that they do, because people actually showed up for this training. So let's check this out real quick.